This is called Igloo, written May 2013. An Inuit building an igloo one cold-coated afternoon looked out of the opening, behind a block of frost. He couldn't entirely see, not with the glare and shape of the sun at present, but to his estimation, farther than closer, was an emerging lump. It lifted and slumped, skulked and shrank. It rose and shook, and in all of this, approached. He set down his carving tool momentarily. It was sharp, short-handled, and available for all it may carve. From within his parka he outbreathed a visible expression of his lung size. The mist and the morn had all lifted. The wind was not present, as particles of his own movements glinted in the passing sun. Another breath's measure would not make the object any clearer. He would have to wait. And on he worked. For a time, he had no visible means of escape or defense, save a shovel, a scraper, and a gust of iced breath to cover him. His snowshoes lay presently near his not yet half-erected enclosure. It was to be an outpost, a hunting station, a place of refuge apart from the camp. It was not to be a crypt. At least this was his hope. With nowhere to run, he held his position and lifted another block. The surface was smooth and certain, fitting gracefully into place in a world where so little does. Closer and larger, the lump in the light emerged. It was black, contrasting to the surrounding world, looking malleable as to form, and anything but graceful. It was not a bear, nor the son of a bear, as far as he could see through the slit of wooden covers. The lump traveled alone, and far from an obvious explanation. They would both have to wait till the moment of collision. The Eskimo wondered silently on the silver plain if the thing had noticed him, if it was consciously directed toward him, or, in fact, conscious at all. There, picking away at ice and captured blocks of cold, he pondered his own life. Had he made wise decisions? Had he done all he might? Had he constructed a bridge or a wall of hindrance to others? The pick dove deeply into the polar regions, carving and cursing at winter's frigid indifference. Without so much as a whelp's warning, life's jagged events happen, even on the most smooth of surfaces. The pick had no sooner entered the ice when the great mass of darkness was upon him. Like a swarm of some insentient, unsympathetic creatures bound together, this thing enveloped the Northman, screeching to its appointed stop like bees upon nectar. He tried to move, to run, to evade the mass. There was nothing he could do on the flat, motionless plain under the hazed afternoon sun that had no intention of hanging around. Again, he tried to move, to breathe beneath the beastly weight of worry and years of bitter frost. He was trapped like the easy prey he was, like the earth itself trapped under snow and ice. And so it ended. The cares of the world finally settled. Above the equator, below the moon, within the dome of a snow globe. Specks of white in swirling oil fell to the floor level of the captured scene. The igloo would not be finished. The sun would not set. The ice would not melt. The man would not move till another shake. Then the world would again spin and glisten and agitate to life in its artifice of reality. Once again the man would dutifully dig into life's chores, unaware, as we all are, of the hand that rocks the world in its palm, uncertain as we all of the future already planned, and played 1,000 times in repeating rhyme. The thing in the distance, the sled and the snowman, the snow and the speckled sky, all work and wink again in their false plastic lives. And so, as toys go, this one on a shelf of an upper West End Manhattan apartment, where a boy who rises daily eats boxed breakfast cereal and returns to rules, or the breaking of them in schoolish increments. Human to the touch and lost in dreams, he walks to one of many institutes in one of many cities filled with upper apartments and boys and girls and daydreams and shelves. The skyline snow falls lightly as it can on the crowds of mixed reaction, and who knows what the day will bring under its hanging sun. Perhaps a jostle, perhaps a joke, perhaps it's all the same in the plastic lives, in the swirl of things. Only God knows. In the palm of his preference, in the coldness, in heat, in distance, and in visitation, and the gentle shaking of all.